Hi there, my name is Sive Joyce and I'm the co-founder and psychologist at Mindarma. I just wanted to share with you today a really lovely little practice called taking a mindful pause and how we can weave this into our day so that it actually supports our overall physical and emotional well-being. So to start, I'm just going to highlight here how taking a mindful pause actually involves activating certain acute attention skills that we all have in the prefrontal cortex of our brain. And so there are many benefits to taking a pause and taking a moment out from what we're doing. So it's engaging the frontal pathways of the brain when we do this, but it's also reducing mind chatter, which is the inner kind of thoughts and commotion in our brain. And sometimes our brains can spend a lot of time, our mind can go into the future, worrying about what's going to happen, what's coming up in our day, or it can go into the past, rehashing situations or ruminating over things that have already happened. Now, a certain amount of this is completely normal, of course, but if our minds do this regularly, then it can cause quite a lot of stress and it can even lead to a bit of exhaustion. So, when we're taking a mindful pause, it gives us the opportunity to take a step back, to reconnect with our breath and the space around us. And it has this nice calming effect on our sympathetic nervous system and also our limbic system, which is the fight or flight part of our brains. So, taking a mindful pause really allows us to reconnect with the present moment, and then we can choose the next task to attend to or the next action we want to take with greater clarity and insight. And so, what this short practice allows us to do is to respond versus to react in different situations and scenarios. So, mindful pausing really initially can actually involve just taking a minute or two for you right now. So let's try this. And you might decide to just get a little bit more comfortable in your seat and putting both feet on the ground. You might actually now start to focus on a spot in front of you. So allowing your gaze to just soften and focusing on a point in front of you, or you may choose to close your eyes if this feels more comfortable for you. And as you do this, softening the gaze or closing the eyes, beginning to focus now on your breath and consciously starting to take a slow inhale. But we're going to count this inhale, taking a slow inhale, counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, pausing at the top and then just extending the exhale a little, maybe to 6. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's do this again, taking a nice inhale, inhaling a slow count of 4, pausing at the top of the inhale, and then extending to a slow count of 6. Let's do this again. Inhaling to a slow count of 4, pausing at the top, and then extending the exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And knowing as you extending the exhale is really nourishing for your whole mind and body and the nervous system. And just allowing the counting to fall away for now, and just noticing the body as you're breathing in and out. You're just noticing those really subtle movements as you're taking this pause. Noticing how the chest moves gently in and out, or that your shoulders gently rise and fall. You may even notice the movement of air in and out of your nostrils. And then shifting your focus to your legs and very gently pushing your feet down into the ground for a moment. Really inviting tension into the legs as you do this. Pushing into the ground, both legs quite tense and full of tension. And then relaxing, allowing the legs to be soft and relaxed, and noticing the opposite of this feeling in the legs soft and relaxed. Let's do this one more time, pushing the feet into the ground, feeling very grounded. And maybe gently lifting your toes once or twice as you do this. So legs are tense, lifting the toes, and then relaxing the legs once more. And just noticing how the body and the legs feel very grounded and aware. And then taking one last inhale and exhaling. And then just noticing as you bring your awareness more and more into the space around you, any sounds you can hear inside or outside the space. Maybe the hum of the device in front of you or my voice. And then gently bringing your focus up, eyes open and aware, and welcome back. And so that's a very short but helpful practice. And we can practice a mindful pause throughout the day, and it can be very helpful to pair it with little tasks. So you might have this short practice before your first task of the day or your first appointment. You may decide to practice it before and after meetings so you gain a sense of clarity and groundedness. You might decide to practice actually even before responding to emails. It's not uncommon for people to receive an email and then very quickly respond back, but sometimes it can be helpful to take a moment and consider, okay, how do I respond to this email? And taking a mindful pause can provide greater clarity around that. It can also be helpful to practice this short mindful pause at the end of your day as you're transitioning from work to home. And this can be particularly helpful for those of us who are working from home still at this time point. And so practicing a mindful pause can be used in lots of different situations and scenarios when you want to regain and reconnect with a sense of groundedness and clarity. So it can be also helpful before larger meetings or when you have a presentation to deliver, or you might weave it into some regular routine that you have, so such as having your morning coffee or tea, or at the end of lunchtime before you get back into the working afternoon, let's say. And so it can be helpful to note that taking a mindful pause, having a very short, regular mindful practice like this can be very helpful. It helps us step back from inner mind chatter and gain clarity and perspective, but it can also help us release a little stress that's been built up in the body. So it can actively allow us to drop anchor, feel back into our body, and this can have a nice calming effect on our nervous system. And again, this allows us to refocus our attention on the task at hand with greater clarity, greater insight, and allowing us to take action that reflects our personal values in life. So again, responding versus reacting in different situations. So that's a mindful pause. I hope you found that helpful. I'd just like to note here that if you've been having a tough time or intense time lately, please do consider reaching out for support. And it may be to a trusted friend or colleague or family member, or you might decide to book in a checkup with your local GP or your doctor. However it is, please reach out for support if things have been tough for you. And do know that reaching out for support is always an act of resilience. If you'd like to learn a little more about our program, I'll share our details with you shortly. But just a final little tip. Practicing a mindful pause can be nice to do, as I said, with your morning coffee or afternoon tea. And the wonderful Zen master and Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh shares and captures this practice beautifully by sharing this with us. Drink your tea slowly and reverently, as if it is the axis on which the world earth revolves, slowly, evenly, without rushing toward the future. And so this is how we can weave in a mindful pause into our day quite easily, really, in the morning or in the afternoon. So I hope you enjoyed that quote, and I hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, if you'd like to reach out or learn more about the strategies and practices in Mindarma, please contact our team. We'd love to hear from you. Visit our website, mindarma.com, or reach out, as I said, to the team at info@mindarma.com. Until next time, take good care.